My name is Jeremy Peral. I'm the CEO of Hawaii ADU LLC. What we're doing is we are bringing affordable housing to Hawaii in a brand new way. Piggybacks along with the accessory dwelling unit ordinance that was passed in September of last year. And what we're doing is we're accelerating the adoption of secondary dwellings for people and giving them greater access to it at a much more affordable price. The original spark for the business actually came from my business partner, Derek Williams, and his family owned some property upcountry Maui. They had room to put an ohana unit, and about 4 or 5 years ago, he began researching the different options for building a small ohana. And he ended up having to search far, high and low, all over to find out something that would be getting distracted. So I want to start over. Yeah, let's start over. Okay. So we asked the question again? Yeah. The original spark for the business really started with my business partner, Derek Williams, and his desire to build a secondary dwelling on his family property in upcountry Maui. And after a couple of years of searching high and low for options that he could buy and install and finding really nothing that met his needs, from a sustainability perspective or from a speed of build or even a utility perspective, he began working to build and design his own ohana. He teamed up with a world-class architect who's here in Honolulu, Jason Selly, and what was born was a company called Newhouse. And Newhouse is alive and well in concept, and we're looking to build our first home. And what was really exciting is that getting down the road a few years in building this Newhouse ohana, the ordinance in Honolulu passed for accessory dwelling units. And so the two were just really kind of married from the start, and we ended up having a big head start to bring people not only the Newhouse design and concept, but then, as we'll talk about in a couple minutes, the Hawaii ADU products. And that's basically the inspiration, was needing to find an affordable, sustainably built eco home that wasn't crazy expensive. So the business really evolved out of the need for affordable housing in Hawaii. There's over 60,000 families who need housing that don't have comfortable housing. And then there's also this kind of hidden challenge of multi-generational families all living under one roof, where we've talked to people where there's 14 people living in a 900 square foot house. So the problem we're solving with this business is creating access to living with dignity, having enough space to live comfortably, and doing it in an affordable way. So the major pivot that happened for us was after a few years of working with the development of the Newhouse design and concept. What we realized is that what we had designed was more of a premium product. It was at a higher price point, and we weren't able to build the volume that was needed to solve the problem. And what happens kind of simultaneously is we ended up finding a business associate that Derek had worked with in a different capacity for over a decade. And what he was doing is he was working with modular homes, and he was bringing them into Hawaii and creating the opportunity to install these homes very quickly. Now, the business partner I'm talking about, he doesn't have a whole sales team and a marketing team, and he wasn't building a company around it. He had the import strategy and all of the different ducks in a row to bring in these products from overseas. So Derek and I basically created an agreement for Mark to import these homes, and we're going to do everything else. So everything else is quite a bit. The major pivot was about 4 or 5 months ago, where we put the Newhouse development kind of on hold because the incredible opportunity at hand is to install dozens, if not hundreds of homes every year, much faster than we could do with the Newhouse traditional stick build construction. Even though the Newhouse has a lot of prefabricated components, it still is going to take a couple months to build. The new home that we're installing, we can typically install in under a week. So if you look at all the other options of accessory dwelling units or ADUs in Hawaii, Everything else that I've seen is going to take a traditional building path where you identify the parts that you need to build a home, you identify a general contractor, you go and get the permits, and that can take 3 to 6 to 12 months. Then you get the general contractor and their crews to build. That could take 2 to 6 to 12 months more. So we're really turning that model on its ear, and we're creating a product that can literally be installed in 1 to 2 weeks. We offer customization on top of that, so the project could actually go on longer than that. But for someone who really just needs a solution, if they've got in-laws moving from overseas or from the mainland, if they just need to have somewhere for their tutu to have a place to rest comfortably that's not with the entire family in a 2-bedroom house, all of these problems now have a solution with the company that we're creating. So in considering the community, we have taken quite a bit of care to involve not only the other players in the ADU market, but in addition, there are a number of vendors and players that we've interacted with, from the Department of Permitting and Planning to other general contractors, to electricians, to plumbers, to vendors of materials. And then we took it a step farther to make sure that we're actually working directly with the community. We've hired a couple of people on from the community of Waimanalo. We're working directly with Department of Hawaii Homelands to make sure that the native population has access to ADUs, which currently they do not, because DHHL has not yet approved or allowed ADUs on homeland territories. So we're working in lockstep with the community in Waimanalo so that we can not only provide information about the services we offer, but actually start installing our homes in their backyards, in the local population's homes and territories first, because that's where we see the greatest need. There are more people living in the homes on the homeland homesteads than in a lot of the other parts of the island, and we want to provide solutions there that people can afford. Sure. When I came on as CEO, the first thing I wanted to do was understand the landscape and who was out there offering ADUs. And so I went around and I actually walked inside the offices of the folks that are offering ADUs, called them up. We actually had someone go in and kind of inquire about what the services were, because we wanted to understand what people have to offer. And what we found was traditional building practices. And we want to make sure that we are able to provide our products through the other competitors. And in fact, one of the business strategies that we're incubating right now is enabling other companies to resell our products, because we feel that we have such a superior product to what else is out there on the market that we think other people are going to want to actually use it and sell it. And we're open to that. We want to collaborate with other businesses. We feel like we have something that's really outside the box and is going to save people time and money, both on the business side and on the consumer side. And we not only are working with the actual ADU companies, but we have put together a concept for an ADU Expo that we hope will come to light next year. We'll invite all of the ADU providers, as well as the vendors that provide cabinets and windows and doors and all the other different things that you might build into an ADU, as well as open it up, of course, to the public so that they have a forum to come and learn more about it. I see ADU as an acronym being pretty new, and I spent 10 years in the solar industry from 2005 to 2015. Back in 2005, not a lot of people knew what PV was, right? And I see ADU as really being something that's brand new now, but 3 or 5 years from now, I think it's going to be a household acronym, and that people are not only going to know about it, but they're going to want one, and we intend to be right at the center of that industry. So we're working with a more collaborative approach in how we grow this business, because we see it as a nascent industry that is going to grow, and we want to see it succeed. We're not just in it for ourselves. We're in it for the people of Hawaii, and we want to take this business and this concept on a much more broad scale to the mainland and internationally. We're taking a more collaborative approach in how we grow this business because we really see the benefits spreading to everyone involved. We want the other companies to be successful. We want the word to get out, and we want consumers to have more access and choice. I'm a big believer in letting the consumer choose, and I also feel that we've got the best products, so I'm not really concerned about the competition, and I want everyone to have a piece of the pie. There's plenty of business to go around. And so we really want the market to succeed, we want the market to grow, And looking at the track record since September when the ordinance passed, there's been virtually no actual adoption or installation in ADUs yet. And so we want to foster the acceleration of ADUs getting out there. We want people to know about it. We want people to install these homes and begin seeing the benefits. There's multiple benefits to ADUs. One is, of course, having housing for a family that's got too many people living in their one home. There's also the rental income aspect of this, where you can have the ability to add a second dwelling to your property, and the amount you would pay to pay off the mortgage or the loan, the traditional loan that you would take out to install that house, you'd be able to rent that out at an affordable rate and still actually add rental income to your household. So there's a lot of benefits here. We just want to see the industry grow.